If you think Aldebaran from ReZero is just Subaru with a worse return by death, yeah, that's not really true. Because Al's ability isn't just about coming back from death, it's about control, territory, and forcing someone to relive the same moment over and over again, sometimes himself, sometimes his enemy. And once you really understand how his power works, it becomes one of the most terrifying abilities in ReZero. So let's break it down, slowly, and in the simplest way possible. Aldebaran, or Al, is one of the earliest isekai characters in ReZero. Just like Subaru, he was suddenly transported from Earth into another world, and he's been living there for nearly 2 decades. At first glance, his ability feels similar to return by death, but the moment you look closer, you realize the rules are completely different. Al doesn't reset the entire timeline. He doesn't affect the whole world. Instead, his power creates something closer to a domain, a limited area where time can be forced to loop under very specific conditions. And that's where things get interesting. When Al activates his ability, a territory is established around him. We don't know the exact size, but anyone inside that area becomes part of the system. Once the domain is active, one of 2 roles will be assigned. Either Al becomes the one who repeats, or his opponent does. If Al takes the repeating role, he becomes the victim. Every time he dies inside the domain, he revives from a checkpoint that he personally sets. Unlike Subaru's automatic checkpoints, Al can place his own save point closer to the fight. That alone makes his ability far more tactical. He can experiment, test strategies, and retry again and again without being sent too far back. Another key difference is memory and pain. Al remembers his deaths, but he doesn't retain the overwhelming physical pain the way Subaru does. Mentally, that makes his loops far more sustainable. Inside the domain, his enemy doesn't realize the world is resetting. From their perspective, every attempt feels like the first one. This allows Al to slowly figure out how to defeat opponents far stronger than him through pure trial and error. But that's not even the scariest part of his power. If Al takes the opposite role, he becomes the Subjugator. In this case, the loop doesn't punish Al, it punishes the enemy. The opponent becomes trapped in a time loop where they repeatedly kill Al, only for him to revive again and again. From their point of view, they've already won thousands of times, but Al keeps coming back. Eventually, the fight stops being physical and turns psychological. The enemy begins to break, trapped in endless repetition, unable to escape the domain even after Al leaves it. It's similar to Izanami from Naruto, but far crueler because the victim remains conscious and active the entire time. Once the domain ends, Al walks away. The enemy doesn't. Now this is where a lot of people misunderstand Al's power. The role assignment isn't pure luck, it's a strategic choice, heavily influenced by the situation and Al's intent. When facing an overwhelmingly powerful opponent, Al usually chooses to become the victim. It's the safer option, allowing him to loop, learn, and eventually win through preparation. Choosing to become the Subjugator is far riskier. If the opponent has an extremely strong will, they can actually grow during the loops, turning the tables on Al. That's why Al often refers to his ability as a bet. Not because it's random, but because choosing the wrong role against the wrong enemy can be fatal. His power rewards planning, patience, and psychological warfare far more than brute force. Compared to Subaru, Al's ability feels more controlled, but also more fragile. Subaru's return by death is automatic and absolute. Al's ability requires preparation, activation, and positioning. Subaru suffers more, but his power never fails to trigger. Al suffers less, but only when the conditions are right. Neither ability is strictly better, they're just terrifying in very different ways. Aldebaran isn't just another isekai survivor, he's a strategist who weaponizes time itself. Whether he's dying 100 times to find a perfect outcome or trapping an enemy in an endless nightmare, his power is built around one idea: control the fight, no matter how long it takes.
And honestly, that makes him one of the most dangerous characters in ReZero. So what do you think? Would you rather have Subaru's return by death or Al's domain-based looping ability? Let me know.